Title: Practice Gratitude, especially when life hurts. We don't speak of gratitude because life is easy. We speak of it because life is not, and it never has been. We all carry bruises where no one sees, the weight of memories, the sting of disappointments, the cold silence of dreams that never made it past the night. Some days, we rise like warriors. Other days, we're just crawling through the wreckage of our own minds. But listen closely. This is the terrain where gratitude lives. Not in sunshine, not in praise, but in the storm. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Epictetus. Gratitude is not passive. It is an act of defiance. To be grateful in comfort is easy, but to be grateful in darkness, that is warfare. We, those who choose the Stoic path, do not pretend that pain doesn't exist. We confront it, we name it, and we rise anyway. We look at the ash, the loss, the broken parts of our story, and we give thanks, not because they feel good, but because they forged us. Every morning, before the world presses its chaos upon us, we return to this practice. 3 things. Just 3. 3 simple sparks in a world of ash. A breath that didn't have to be given to us. A roof, no matter how fragile. A memory that didn't break us, even though it tried. Do you think that's weakness? No. That's strength. That's choosing to fight against the mind's natural decay toward resentment and bitterness. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus again. A man who was born into slavery and still found peace. We aren't waiting for perfect days to be grateful. That's not how warriors live. We're practicing now, because now is all we have. Fire in the furnace. Gratitude is not an emotion. It is a discipline. Do not mistake it for some sentimental smile or shallow positivity. It is not blind optimism. It is clear-eyed resolve. It is a clenched fist around your sanity when the world tries to rip it from your hands. Gratitude is what remains when everything else is taken. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, and yet no stranger to grief, betrayal, and war, once wrote in his Meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." That's not coming from a man who lived in comfort. That's a man writing from the front lines of life. He lost children. He watched cities burn. He stood at the edge of despair and said, "I will still give thanks." We must understand this. Practicing gratitude does not mean denying our suffering. It means commanding our response to it. It means saying, "You will not break me. You may strip me of comfort. You may take from me what I love, but I will not give you my soul." We do not fall to our knees in gratitude because we are helpless. We fall because we are humble. We do not control all things, but we control how we interpret them. The Stoics knew this. They saw life as a tempest and the mind as a ship. Gratitude was their anchor. Seneca, tutor to Nero, a man who saw the rise of madness and the abuse of power, wrote this in his letters. "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." We prove ourselves through hardship. We rise through resistance, and gratitude is the steel that makes the rise possible. Not because the pain is small, but because we are larger than it. Every moment we stop and name what we still have, every time we say thank you with grit in our teeth, we claim our sovereignty. We are not victims. We are sculptors, carving ourselves out of the very stone that tried to crush us. The ritual of the real. This is a practice, not a feeling. Like a soldier sharpening his blade before the dawn, we sharpen our perspective before the world claws at us again. Every day, without fail. 3 things. Small, quiet, unglamorous. That's all it takes. Gratitude for what remains, for what didn't go wrong, for what quietly holds us together when everything else falls apart. Why 3? Because the mind needs repetition to rewire. And in a world wired to highlight what we lack, what we fear, what we have lost, gratitude is the act of rewriting the script. You want to be free? Then you must take back the pen. Write down what you have, what's left, who still stands beside you, what strength still burns inside you. This is not about pretending, it's about remembering. Remembering that not everything is gone, that not everything is broken, that you are not broken. You have endured. You are still breathing. That breath, that's your weapon. Use it. Burn away the noise. We are surrounded by noise, comparison, discontent, envy. A constant echo that tells us, you are not enough. You do not have enough. You should want more. And that is how they weaken us, by keeping us looking outward. But we turn inward. We do not envy the man with riches if he is poor in character. We do not crave more when we already have what matters. We are not fools chasing shadows. We stop. We breathe. And we say, thank you. For what? For the silence, for the clarity, for the chance to choose something higher than impulse. This is how we fight back. This is how we build the inner citadel, the fortress that no storm can breach. The weight of the world and the gift of endurance. There is no life untouched by sorrow. You will be abandoned. You will be misunderstood. You will be brought to your knees, not once, but many times. But hear this, suffering does not rob us of life. For those who know how to endure, suffering is the sculptor of the soul. Gratitude, then, is not a light we hold to make the darkness disappear. It is a light we hold within ourselves, so we can walk through the darkness without losing who we are. Life does not promise fairness. It offers no contract of safety. The Stoics never demanded it. They prepared for loss, betrayal, hardship, and death, not out of pessimism, but out of realism. And still they gave thanks. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Yet I will not be harmed by any of them, for none can injure me." Why? Because he was ready, because he practiced, because he knew that life owes us nothing, and yet it gives us so much we forget to notice. To be grateful when life is simple is natural. To be grateful when life is brutal, that is divine. That is strength. That is the kind of strength that cannot be taken, only chosen. When the flesh is weak, the will must be strong. There will be days you don't feel strong, days when you want to lie down and not get up. That's okay. You don't need to feel strong to be strong. That's the secret. Strength doesn't scream, it whispers. And sometimes it doesn't even speak. It just shows up again, and again, and again. That's what gratitude is, showing up again. Even when you're empty, even when you have nothing left to give but your breath and a name for what remains. The philosopher Cleanthes, a Stoic of old, once wrote, "Lead me, Zeus, and you too, destiny. Wherever I am assigned to go, I will follow. But if I do not wish to go, I shall come anyway." That is the voice of someone who understands, who accepts what cannot be changed, but refuses to surrender the inner battlefield. When the flesh is weak, the will must rise, and gratitude is how we summon that will, one breath at a time. Letting go of what you cannot keep. We suffer more from clinging than from loss. We hold on to things as if they define us. Positions, status, relationships, even pain. We grip them tight, hoping they'll save us from the truth that everything is temporary. But what if the letting go is the saving? What if gratitude teaches us that we never owned anything to begin with? That every person, every moment, every comfort we've ever had was a gift, a loan, not a possession. And the more tightly we grip, the more we bleed. The Stoics teach us, you are not what you hold. You are what you let go of without losing yourself. When you lose something, say thank you. Not because you liked the loss, but because it showed you what truly matters. Because it stripped away the illusion and left only what's real. Your will, your discipline, your ability to keep going. Gratitude does not erase grief. It balances it. It says, yes, I have lost, but I have not been lost. I remain. The quiet rebellion. We are not just surviving in this world. We are choosing how to live in it. Gratitude is rebellion. It is a quiet uprising against the voice that says, not enough. It is the refusal to become numb. It is the decision to feel everything and still whisper, thank you. You want to know who the real warriors are? They're not the loudest, not the ones who posture and parade. They're the ones who suffer in silence and still find reasons to rise. They're the ones who smile at strangers when their own hearts are breaking. They're the ones who sit in the rubble of their plans, sifting through it to find a single ember and build a fire again. And that fire, it starts with gratitude, not because it solves everything, but because it changes you. You begin to see clearly. You begin to detach from the madness of always wanting, always fearing, always needing more. Gratitude trains the mind to see the gift behind the chaos. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Epictetus. In other words, reject the way of the world. Choose the deeper road, the harder one, the Stoic one. The inner citadel. Marcus Aurelius called it the inner citadel, a fortress within the self, untouchable by the world's cruelty. You can build it, brick by brick. Every act of gratitude, every breath of calm when the storm roars, every refusal to indulge in rage or self-pity. These are your stones. No one can take this from you. No tragedy, no betrayal, not even death. And when you're tested, and you will be. This is where you'll retreat, not to escape, but to remember. Remember that life is not something owed to you. It is something entrusted to you. Remember that you are not here to be comfortable. You are here to be capable. Gratitude sharpens that capability. It makes you alert, awake, alive to the beauty hidden in ordinary pain. You begin to say things like, "Thank you for this obstacle. It teaches me patience. Thank you for this heartbreak. It showed me what love is not. Thank you for this silence. It taught me to listen to myself." This is not weakness. This is evolution. Yes, the last word is yours. Let's be honest.